Good afternoon everybody and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Ollie and today the topic will be monitoring your suppliers' cost prices and the changes it makes for your system and being able to track that as well. Okay, if you do have any questions, Mike will be on the live chat today, so feel free to ask away during or after the session as well. Okay, so first of all then, so as you can see on screen at the moment, I've got an Excel spreadsheet that's saved on my desktop, which I've saved from a Prima report. So effectively what you can do in the system, the first topic that we're going to be covering is actually kind of the report that's available through that as well. So let me just open Prima. Okay, so when you go into reporting and into reports, you can search on the standard version, and the actual format itself is spreadsheet for this report. Okay, so the report in question is price changes on catalogue, mailer and products. So when you open this report, what you can then see, you can search by a certain suppliers such as Vow, Exertis, Spices and so on, and you can also look through kind of mailer price changes and your stock product price changes in the system as well. So once you've opened that report, you can go into the criteria tab, enter in the criteria which I've just done on my test database, November and Vow, and you can do different ones as well, such as mailer. Save criteria and go back into your spreadsheet, and then from here then what you can see is a list of products that have changed in price in that period. You can see the description, you can see the current cost price, and also you can see your previous cost price as well. So from here then you can see the cost change. So as an example, it's just a test database, and you can see obviously these prices are going up quite harshly. Hopefully not the same on yours, but what you can see is the previous cost, what it's gone up to or gone down to, and then from there then I guess you can export that into Excel and do whatever you want to with it as well. So some customers have that set up on, what we tend to advise to do is set up on like a weekly basis, on a Friday afternoon or a Monday morning, whatever it may be, once your terms have been updated. Set up an automated routine, so this report arrives into your inbox and you can just literally save it then with the prefix of, I don't know, Vow week 50 or something. I don't know what week we're in now, but you can save the information, put a date stamp next to it if you want to, and then from there then you've got a folder of kind of price changes that have happened over the course of the year. It's a great tool then for kind of, I guess, ammunition to use with your suppliers to say, look guys, cost price have changed on these ones, these have increased, these have decreased, and then from there then I guess you can work with the supplier to get better terms effectively. Okay, so in terms of actually setting this up on an automated routine, we do have a webinar specifically on automated reports. But what you would need to do, just as a kind of quick guide over that, is log into your administration. So open your Prima Cloud login box. From there then, you can see it already on screen, but just to show you, you can then go to the application drop down, log into administration and sign in. You then need to go to automation, auto report setup, and then from here you can add automated report, populate the actual catalog price changes report in there, set a criteria and send it to whoever you need to. Okay, so that's just a tip for that one. So again, you can see the current cost price, what the previous was, and the cost change on that as well, depending on the period that you've set. So what I would say, if you are setting up an automated report, is rather than kind of putting in a hard kind of criteria of November 2018 that obviously won't refresh, you'll just need to do a fixed period of this week and do it that way. Save criteria and customize that report as well. So save that as a custom copy of customized report, so you can see that it's changed on the report. Okay, the next way to monitor supplier cost price changes is directly through the catalogue in Prima. So your electronic catalogues, you can see here in the support database list of catalogues that we've got, just as on this test database. Double click into your catalogue, and then from here then you've got a list of products and the current cost prices, sale prices, descriptions and so on. So if I just go to a random product, so I'll use I don't know, that one, go into the actual product. And again, it is test data, so cost prices might be loads more expensive or cheaper on here. And from here, what you can see is the current cost price, which I've highlighted there. You can also see what the previous cost price was, which that's a great change. And you can see then over here the previous date and when the terms were applied. So as you can see on this test database, there must be a problem because there's no terms updated since the 21st. So it's a good way then to monitor out, okay, my cost price seems to be more expensive or cheaper this week, why is that? Let's have a look at the catalogue item, and from there you can see, actually, yeah, cost price have changed today, this is what it previously was, and this is what the cost price is now as well. Okay, so that's just a tip for checking the actual catalogue item, and from here then you can see your cost prices changing with your supplier. So again, the reason why we kind of advise the report is because if the cost price is changing week on week, you won't be able to directly go into, say, week 30 of the year and find out what the cost price was then, unless you've saved these reports onto your desktop. So we store effectively the previous cost price, the current cost price, and there is other ways in which you can kind of get that information through reporting, such as running some sort of kind of usage report, but again it's going to pull through the overall cost price rather than the current cost price at that time. Okay, so one final thing as well, so the report is something we advise to do, kind of set up on a weekly routine and have that saved into a file. Also looking through the catalogue, but the final point is what you can do is if you go into stock and products, so I'm just using the quick links at the top there, into the actual product itself, and what you do have is a sales and purchase button here. So if you click into there, by default it'll pull you through to this screen where it gives you an overview of your sales and purchases on that particular item. But if you click into this purchase information, from there then what you can see is when you've bought that item and what the cost prices was as well. So again, it's test data, cost prices might be completely ridiculous or ridiculously cheap, and you can scroll down and see exactly kind of when it was bought, who for, what supplier, and that sort of thing, and see what the cost prices were, what the quantity was, and see from there then the kind of unit cost at the time, the total cost of the order, and that sort of thing as well. So that's a good way of kind of tracking if your cost prices seem to be going up. Have a look through your purchase history in this kind of purchase information tab, and you can get an idea from there if you've not already set up your automated reports where you can go into Excel, do a Control F and find that product and see actually, yeah, on week 30 it was this price, and now week 49.50, whatever we're on now, you can see the information there as well. Okay, so a relatively quick webinar today. If you do have any questions, myself and Mike will be on the live chat. If you're watching this later, drop training@primasoftware.co.uk an email. I'll be happy to answer any kind of training questions or set up any training sessions on the back of that as well. Okay, well thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week.